Guys, here they all are. February picks. What do I call this video? Shop my stash? Well, here they are. Okay, so welcome back, guys. Today we are getting into basically all the makeup I'm going to be wearing for the month of February. There's a couple in here that a couple of things in here that are still from my January picks. There are some products that are from my January my January picks. So if you want to check out that video to see what I did have and what I've switched out, you can check out that video. I'll link it below. And yeah, let's just get into what I'm gonna try to wear this February. Okay, I'm not gonna go in any particular order. I'm just gonna grab things and explain. So starting with my setting sprays, I'm gonna be using two setting sprays this month. I'm going to be using the Revoultion Fix and Glow and the POREfessional Super Setter. Honestly, I'm using this to see if this truly helps with like makeup transfer with a mask, and I just absolutely love this one, and I'm like pretty much almost done with it. Like I'm halfway through it, so I just thought like why put it off, and just I could use a combination of both, or depending on the type of look that I want that day, I might use one over the other. Foundation, I've chosen one for a light wear and then one for a heavier day. I have the Huda Beauty. This is the original formula. I basically have decided that I do want the new Huda Beauty foundation. This is actually one of my favorite foundations. I love the finish of it. I'm actually wearing it today. And it's honestly one of the best shade match foundations I own. And so I do want to get a new one, but I've decided that I will get the new one after I've used this one for a month. So just using up as much as the product as possible before I get the new one. And also another great shade match and just a lovely formula is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I've used this maybe only twice, but each time I've used it, I've loved it. And I just don't give it enough time and day because I'm trying to get through other foundations that I never use this. And so I want to give this one a chance. In February, and it's a very dry month for us here in Colorado, I do need something with some hydration for everyday wear. And so the Pretty Fresh is for my lighter days because that is a more medium to full coverage, where the Huda is just full coverage. You can thin it out like I kind of did today, where I like applied like a primer with it that like helps thin it out, but overall the Huda is pretty full coverage. As far as primers go, for my face, I'm still gonna be using this Pūrlisse Matcha Green Tea Primer, and that's just because I am more than halfway through it. So I feel like in February I could probably finish this off, and then I'll get my thoughts on it when I do finish it off, but I'm like halfway through, so it's like, why introduce another primer when I can just finish this one? As far as eye primer, I didn't get rid of, but I switched out my Makeup Revolution primer for the KVD Shake Primer. This again was one of those products that was like really hyped up, so I bought it and I tried it maybe 2 times and then I put it away and never used it. So I just want to really give this a fair shot in my collection, so I'll be using this every day. As far as bronzers go, I only have one. This is the Makeup Revolution Glow. I basically took out my Fenty Beauties because I did use them both for a month, and I just they're not really working for me. So I'll revisit them in like probably next month's video. But for right now, I want to use something that actually works for me, and this is in the shade Dark, and I love it, and it smells so good. It smells like artificial pineapple, which doesn't smell like pineapple at all, but like it just smells good on its own scent. For powders, for under eye powder, I'm using the Beauty Bakerie Flower powder. This is in the shade Yellow, and for like setting my eyes, in case I set my eye with concealer or something, I'll be using this. I only use this powder to set on my eyelids. I don't use it to set anywhere else because the shade is just not that good, but I am pretty much almost done with it. I only have so much left, and so I'm like, ugh, I just need to use this up. And then I just have my Anastasia Beverly Hills setting powder, just because this is the only translucent setting powder that I own. So this one will always probably be in my collection for everyday makeup just until I get through it. I basically told myself I will not buy another translucent powder until I finish this one, and Lord knows it's gonna be a while. So for blush, I chose one powder, one cream. The cream I've chose the AOA, and this is in the shade Shy. It's a very it's a redder shade, and so I've chose that because I thought that would be good for, you know, February. February is very Valentine's Day focused. And then I chose the M Cosmetics. This is their Heaven's Glow Magic Hour, and I absolutely love it. I have it on today. It gives a nice, like, just a glow from within kind of finish. It's not necessarily, I don't really apply it for the color. I apply it for those moments that when the sun hits and it shifts, people catch me and I'll be looking good. For brow products, I have the Makeup Revolution. I'm really mad that, like, Makeup Revolution is a good company for some of their things, and I really like their stuff. Clearly I have like 3 items in my everyday from them, but I hate how cheap the packaging is. Like, the label is already rubbing off on here. It's like insane. I just bought it last week. But anyway, this is their clear brow gel. And then I'm gonna be pairing that with the Il Makiage brow fill-in brow setter, just because on my lazier days I just like to brush my brows and go and fill them in with a tinted brow. And then I have this Anastasia brow wiz. This is basically almost done. I literally only have that much left, and so we're keeping this one. I used it last month and I really got far into it, and so now I'm just waiting to finish it up. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's a mini, so I just feel like I can get through this pretty much in a month and be done. Okay, concealers are going to be the Huda Beauty. This is the Overachiever concealer, and I have it on today. Concealer, you have to consider the formula of the foundation that you're using with it. Paired with the Huda foundation, it does great. But I have used it with other ones where I feel like it didn't perform as well as it did. And then this is just the Colourpop one. I did have this in my last month's everyday makeup, and I'm just so close to finishing it. I don't want to like move on to a different one. That's why the Overachiever is here. So when I run out of this one, I can just move over to the Overachiever and work on finishing that one. And then eyeliner that I'm just gonna stick with this one. This is the Lorac Front of the Line Pro. I don't really have too many like eyeliner pencils in black. I have like more colored eyeliners, but this one's my favorite, and I also have a second one of these, so I just feel like just stick to it and just try to get through it. I've made some progress on it, but I still have a lot more to go with this. Last month I chose one single shadow to use throughout the month because a lot of my single shadows don't get used as much as my palettes do. So this month I decided to use 2 because the last time I had a single shadow, I only used it twice because the color was like a random green color and it just didn't work for like everyday wear. So I've chosen 2 this time. I've chosen this one. It's a Super Shocks shadow from Colourpop. This is Mycelium. This is from the Raw Beauty Kristi collection. It's a very pretty shade. Just such a great little topper shade. And then on top of that, this is from the new collection from Colourpop called Wild Child. But you know, Colourpop drops a new collection every Thursday, so how new is this one really? But this is from the Wild Child collection, and I just did a video on that collection. So if you want to check out that video, please, I will put the link below. And this is just a metallic, and I just really like this shade, and I think it would just be great for everyday wear, you know? So hopefully I'll get some really good use out of them. Last time I chose only one palette to use for the whole month, and it worked out. I chose the Jackie Aina palette, and I really got some good use out of that palette. But I feel like I was like near the end, I was like, man, I'm getting so bored, to the point where there was a couple of days I was like, I don't even want to wear makeup because I've already like kind of used all the shadows. I've decided to do 3 this time, basically is what I'm saying. And initially it was going to be 2, one everyday type of palette and then one like creative palette. So my first choice for my everyday makeup was the Granduer palette from Colourpop. This is such a stunning palette, and again, the point of me doing these, picking out my makeup and shopping my stash at the beginning of the month is to like rediscover these palettes that I absolutely love, and this is one of those palettes that like I just love. For the creative, I've chosen the Misunderstood palette from Colourpop. This is their the Disney Villains palette. And it just has a lot of shimmers and stuff in there, but I know there's like some really creative ones I can do. Surprisingly, I didn't pick anything with red in it, even though it's February and it's Valentine's Day. But yeah, this is just the palette I chose to be creative with. And then I added in the Wow Child palette because I want to kind of explore this palette. Did fallout just happen? Just because it's brand new, and I want to get some use out of it. Like I tend to like, oh yeah, what is happening here? That shade is trying to come out. I tend to buy palettes and then just like put them away, and that's not the way it should be. So I'm going to try to get some use out of them. There are some shades that I feel like are similar to the Granduer palette in here, but not exactly. But they are very like just more of that everyday kind of wear. So those are both of those side by side. That's it for my everyday makeup picks for February. Let me know what you guys have picked for your everyday makeup. Do you guys switch out your stuff like I do, where I kind of want to experiment with different things, so I pick out different things for the month? You let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to read those. Other than that, I will say adieu. I'm kidding. Okay, bye guys. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I want to see you every week when I post these videos. But other than that, make sure you also check me out on Instagram. I would appreciate your time there too. So I will check you in the next video. Bye!